When I wasn't ready, no one can stop me. No one. No one can stop me. When I was ready, I feel like I became unstoppable towards doing the right things.
I can do it all through Christ. Forgive my brother, though he stabbed me twice. It's sad cause he still got the knife. I'm still learning how to sacrifice. That mean when he do you wrong, you gotta be strong and still do them right. I won't name no names, cause we not the same. And plus my honor code, don't play those games, are you insane? Life lessons as I welcome in his presence. I give him reference as I seek his essence, like the essence. Abba, do you hear me? And he say, do you fear me? Back and forward conversations cause he know the real me. I'm washed in his waters and I'm praying they would heal me before somebody from my past come back and try to kill me. You feel me? I feel haunted by my past life. Praying morning, noon, and night. I think I went to mass twice. All from the devil's slice. I had to bite with sound advice. Coke on the plane, they had to ground it twice before the flight. And that's word to my Christian lubes. Chefry, nothing like the mother Christian dudes. Brew, don't get it confused. I sport mode the F-type and then just let it cruise. The punchline, the beat until it walk a bruise. I'm hella cool. Just because the dude foul, he can't defile me. Got angels all around me like Charlie. I can feel him but don't see him hardly. Partly why my faith strong, but that's a different story. Metaphorically and allegorically.
I hope y'all like that. That was Supplication by Roy the Chef. It's dangerous out here. I hope you guys make it home safe.
Why is she eating? Because like, yeah, they would say shit to us. She's just crazy. Yeah, like he's saying. Yo, check it out. You ain't worried about that.
Yo, what was that about? Don't worry about it. You wouldn't understand.
When you bought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted Yah was misled our past generations. No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no talebearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. No idolatry, no adultery. When you bought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted Yah was misled in our past generations. No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no talebearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. No idolatry, no adultery.
Hey, shalom, 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 Yasha Allah, Shar Shabbat. The water for tuning in to another episode of the Bar4Bar. You see the title, Black Fatigue. Let's examine. Right, let's examine this thing. Almighty Captain Al-Haran has, educated me and some of the other brothers on, black fatigue, the proper definition, and then what they're stealing the definition to be. And I'm telling you, you seen the comment I put in the chat. Put your seatbelts on for this one. Your favorite enemy, your oppressor, he got a show for you today. I'm telling you, he got some words. Yeah. Got some words for your people today. We're gonna dive right into it. I want to get some of the announcements first before we get into this thing. I hope everybody had a blessed new moon too last week. Let me pull up the calendar real quick. What do we have next? Another new moon, and then I'm pretty sure feast of dedication, right? So the next new moon will be November 19th, right? I believe that's like on a Thursday. Let me double check that. I believe that's on a Thursday. That's on a Wednesday. One day off. That's on a Wednesday. So November 19th at even will be our next new moon. And then the following feast day we'll have is Feast of Dedication, December 13th. And that's on a Shabbat. So you got no excuse not to be there if you're in the Atlanta area. We're going to go right from camp straight to the feast day, Lord willing, right? We get there. Also, too, if you want to join the organization and be a part of the Sons of Thunder, you ready to do this work, you ready to put your hand to the plow, you ready to serve the Lord in sincerity and in truth via an organization and a body, make sure you send an email to the Sons of Thunder Israelites or SOTisraelites at gmail.com. We got a new prospect phase starting up here soon. The brother just texted me in the back saying, I don't want to make sure you get it out. Once we close it, it's closed. So if you're interested, you got a mind and you're willing to do the work faithfully, as some of the scriptures say, and you've counted the cost, right, to want to do the work, hey, send an email to SOTisraelites at gmail.com. Also, for our sisters, man, we got a sect for y'all to join and fellowship and be a part of as well, as far as the pillars of rest, right? Beautiful sisterhood, teaching kids, teaching one another, just being that helping hand for the body as far as women, right? So if you want to join that and be a part of that growing sisterhood, send an email to pillarsofrest@gmail.com, right? Also, too, if you haven't already, man, make sure you check out the Patreon, Sons of Thunder Israelites Patreon, lineup, captains, corners, feast days, behind the scene resources, exclusive camps, debate, and the tribal fitness. So make sure you tune in that. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Patreon. Right, we got a lot of keynotes too, man. I don't know if I'm bringing it out. Right, the latest keynote. Make sure you check that out. Ye are gods, man. You got to run that lesson back in the mind, man. You gotta actually believe that you're a God on the earth. There's a lot of things coming into the walk and into this faith to keeping these commandments that are absolutely beneath you as a God. And as a daughter of Sarah as well. It's just things that are beneath you, man. And you got to put those things away and stop living in that season mindset. Right? We no longer living in this season mindset of it's this season, that season. I'm gonna do the Daniel fast, and I'm gonna do this and that just to try to know, man. Just be right. Mm-hmm. Stop finding a way not to be right and find more ways to be right in this walk, man. Because this is all we got. Right? I'm working on a lesson called Last Chance. You don't got too many chances left, man. Some of y'all depending on reincarnation or regeneration. You think you're gonna just come back and be able to fix it. No, this is your last chance. You got to be walking this walk today as if it's your last chance. You got to be fighting for your how by Shem Yahushai as if it's your last chance, because that's what your oppressors did. Your oppressors said, hey, give us this kingdom or we'll die trying to get it. We'll die fighting. So you got to have that same mindset. You got to be willing to go out for your how by Shem Yahushai, man. Willing to give your lives, as the Maccabees says, or 2 Maccabees 6, 2 Maccabees 7, or is that 1 Maccabees? The other, right? Y'all get the gist. Y'all got to be willing to risk lives for this truth and be the defense of your people, because when we watch these videos that we got queued up, there is no they don't got nobody defending us. Man. Let me bring this stuff. It's nobody truly defending us but us. It's nobody going telling our people that they got. Aaron was talking about it earlier before we came on, the black culture, that the propaganda of black culture. Like, we run the TV outlets and the radio stations and what comes out. Like, I'm not looking at a group of fathers here. That's black culture. Now, I'm not looking at a group of husbands here. That's black culture. A group of sons here. A group of men that go to work and take care of their responsibility. That's black culture. But what the propaganda that they put out there, so they have something to say. The Sexy Reds and the Drake and Kendrick beef, look at them always fighting. It's just madness. That's the propaganda that they have to put out there to downgrade our people because they've taken away they don't want us to be great. You have to understand that in this walk. It was never intended in America for you to be great. So when they say make America great again, you're trying to take on that. That wasn't for you.
Mm-hmm.
Make America great again was putting them in high rises, them being over you, their faces on the dollars. They're only 99.9% of white presidents and one so-called black one.
Right.
Their Congress, their Senate, their government, their laws was made for them. That was to make them great again, man. So the videos we watched in the back kind of got me fired up. The excellent lesson. I want to show this. I want to show this real quick, Cap. I want you to get in there. I want to just show this definition, though. The true definition of black fatigue, real quick, by Sister Mary Francis.
Come on.
You can read this on the screen.
Mary Frances Winters defined black fatigue as stress that is passed down from generation to generation that leaves black people feeling physically, mentally, and spiritually exhausted.
But that's not true. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna spoil it, Ryan. I'm not even gonna spoil it, Cap. I'm gonna just let these and however it comes out, we're gonna let them explain how they took this definition because she wrote a whole book. Let me shout this sister out. Let me shout this sister out too, because she wrote a whole book on what black fatigue is. If you haven't already, just check it out. It's a good book. I'm extra zoomed in. Give me a second. I'm extra zoomed in. Right here we go. She wrote a book on black fatigue, explaining what we just read as the definition, right? But now, and she coined the definition, but now this definition is being taken and twisted and meaning something totally different. We're going to get into that. Go ahead, Al. You got it, Cam. You got it.
No, hey, that was an excellent intro, because I tell you, the conversation or the topic black fatigue is one that's happening in a lot of smaller circles all around the country. But it's time to see us now kind of be prepared to have that conversation, because with like the gentleman that we're going to examine his conversation, and also people like Charlie Kirk, there are other sides that are taking a few statistics and have learned how to manipulate those to be in their favor. And if you haven't prepared yourself to have the conversation or learned counter statistics or really dove deeper into the statistics that they're using, it's easy to get caught up in a twist, and it's easy to kind of have the truth be bypassed. And so, hey, let me just say, this is a very nuanced conversation. Even some of the stuff that we're going to bring out today, I mean, because it's so dense, we can only bring out certain portions of it. But I implore everybody, go watch and study and learn. And it seems I've been seeing the spirit move that, a lot of people, a lot of the camps, a lot of people in the truth, they are starting to dive into statistics to be able to have this conversation. You know what I mean? And I think largely it's because of groups like Turning Point, or Charlie Kirk, or like this dude Crowder, or just some of the other groups that we see on the internet or on social media, because now anybody can have a platform. These conversations are back held in the forefront, and hopefully this is the catalyst to allow you to start thinking, as well as have these conversations with your family and prepare them to go out into the world and represent themselves properly and understand what's going on. All right.
Hey, I just want to say this before we get into it. I'm looking at my daughter and my son, and I'm thinking about them as I'm watching these videos, and I'm like, it's our responsibility to teach them how to combat these talking points. Because there's not going to be a lot of other children of so-called Black, Latino, Native American that's gonna be able to defend this. There's gonna, you know how we have, I guarantee you, I won't say guarantee, but it's already probably there. And it is there, but I think it's gonna be more focused. There's gonna be classes on this. There's gonna be classes on how to combat Black fatigue as we're gonna get the definition. You see, they're already taking slavery out and things like that, but there's gonna be college courses, high school courses with strictly Caucasians in it, and how to talk and gear the mind of Black people. Racism was that's in the past. We're not talking about that no more. Watch those classes. They already got them, right? They have. Yeah.
So Turning Point USA as an organization, that's their whole shtick. That's their whole agenda. Now, can you just look up really quickly, Google, how many student chapters are there at Turning Point USA? There, if I'm not mistaken, there are over 100. And Dante, if you reached out, first things first is we got to join the prospect phase. But yeah, I'm gonna have the brothers check up on that. Ali is all over the scriptures, and I wanna let you know, because as Adawan just said, we believe that the Black, Latinos, and Native Americans are Israelites. And I want to make a point. Now, the term is called Black fatigue, but make no mistake, they also mean you, Latino population. They also mean you, Native population. And I don't want to spoil it, but a large part of this is they're tired of being guilt tripped for the things that they've done. And we're going to get into that. And we know that not only us, but the Latino population also sings that same song about the atrocities that's done to them. And quite frankly, they're tired of hearing about it.
Over 900 chapters, Cap.
Okay, see, over 900 chapters of Turning Point USA. And these are organizations that exist primarily on college campuses, in which they have these conversations, they practice using these talking points and how to manipulate these statistics, and basically how to debate this. And so that's happening. So now we're having a new generation of people who not only do they feel like they're right from a statistical basis, but even when they know they're wrong, they're literally practicing on how to evade the truth and make you seem like you're the problem and the victim.
Yep.
And these people, and we might get into a little later, these people, yes, they may not be a part of the power system yet, but they're going to influence it. They benefit from it. And so it's very important that we prepare ourselves, prepare our children, prepare our community to be able to stand in that conversation and bring more to the table than emotions. Because a large part of this, it is very emotionally charging, and people, I don't want to say our ops, but the other sides of these conversations are counting on us becoming emotional instead of actually sitting down and speaking with facts. Part of that is because these facts are hurtful, and we're going to get into some of the statistics and effects on both your psychological well-being as well as your mental and emotional well-being of suffering with oppression. It causes trauma, and we're going to get into that. But they counting on us sitting in our trauma as opposed to actually sitting in the facts and really what happened. So that this right here is a whole intro, and we can kind of get into it.
All right, we gotta do a fair use real quick, and I want to start with this Edomite real quick, Cap. I just found this in the back.
Which one?
Just real quick. Look what she said. Real quick.
Black fatigue is real. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior.
Why none of that's what they say Black fatigue is to them now.
Wait, I didn't hear it. You know, I be having a lag on the media. What did it say?
Can brothers hear that?
Count that one.
We'll play it one more time. Right? This is what she says.
Black fatigue is real. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior.
So that's what black fatigue is now. So-called Caucasians are fed up with the black ghetto culture. They're fed up with it. That's what your black fatigue is now. And we're gonna get into this thing. Let's play the first video. Let's get
you know what's interesting, and we're gonna get into a little later. That comment lets you know that they don't separate what they like black culture from black people. And black culture being a byproduct of the systems that was created for us. And also being pushed by the powers that be. You know, because when you think of culture, what do you think of? You think of food, you think of music, you think of dance, you think of, they try to say the heartbeat of a people, you know? And not everybody within the black community subscribe to every facet of black culture. You know, but like I said, man, it's such a charged conversation. It'll cause you to kind of jump the gun. But let's get into the video. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom, Roy.
Yeah. Shalom, Roy.
Y'all listen to this now.
The now networkless Joy Reids of the world, or back then the Don Lemons, what they wanted me to believe.
I realized that CNN and MSNBC were full of shit.
And overall, it was a largely warm, productive conversation. I think served its purpose. You can go check out that video to see what it was like. Fast forward to now, and not only have things not really improved.
So they say this is black culture. Obviously, the propaganda. I seen the brother Ariel said the rage bait. This is black culture at its finest, I'm guessing.
And according to
we attack police as well.
Many Americans, they're markedly worse. And if listening is important, I noticed that a lot of white Americans felt pushed to a point that they weren't even
like they don't have the details on that situation. Like they don't have the details on this situation. You got to look at the propaganda they put out.
Fully comfortable expressing. But for the most part, when they did, their communication was pretty restrained. And then it was dialed up to near boiling point with the recent cold-blooded murder of Irina Zarutska.
The unthinkable happens. You see Brown pull out what officials say was a pocket knife. He unfolds it, then stands up behind Zarutska. What we aren't showing you is the moment where Brown then stabs Zarutska several times and walks away.
And that murder...
Like this is black culture. Like it's black culture to go around stabbing white people. That's black culture? See how they preference this? To see how the music changed? To play with your emotions and the sadness? Like black people go around on trains stabbing people. Like y'all wasn't lynching people and sending it off as postcards. Okay? All right? Like blackface wasn't real. All right?
Murder taking place at the hands of a black man who was arrested at least 14 times and released largely in the name of racial justice, spurred a reaction from white Americans that frankly is unsurprising. And truth be told, for young white Americans is understandable, and it would be doing America no favors to completely ignore the discontent of young white Americans who have.
Now we already went through these statistics. See how they throw these statistics out there. Now you're gonna look murderers and all this. Oh, black people. Right? You're gonna look at all these statistics. But they never break the statistics down.
Right.
If you listen to them, definitely will make the case that they have been vilified and asked to foot the bill for original sin or crimes that they've never committed.
They owe each of us $300K. So I don't care how to get the money. That's not my problem. I just want my money. A debt is owed.
Remember what the sister said for later.
Say it again, Cap.
I said, remember what the sister said for later. Because I tell you, the one thing that Esau knows how to do is manipulate imagery. He knows the power of imagery. That's why he's using the music. That's why he's putting as if this lady's pulling a random number out of a hat. That's why they try to frame all these cases as if they were just innocent white victims, when really they should have said, instead of this lady being attacked by a black man, she was attacked by a mentally ill man, right? Because his family already tried to declare him mentally ill, and he claimed that he was hearing voices and she was thinking about that, not because she was an Edomite. We're gonna get into it. Go ahead.
Hey, the same thing with the young man that got choked out on the train. This is the same thing. Because he was mentally ill and he was attacking people on the train. They made it seem like he deserved that.
Yeah.
So with the autopsy with Trey Reed, can we get that out yet? See, and it's not even a tit for tat thing. It's the fact that these people have the nerve to try to erase the history that they created via their own hands and act like now we're the problem. That's the problem. Because murder is wrong no matter who's doing it. Let's just, if we be frank.
Right.
Right? If we just be frank, killing somebody for no reason is wrong. Right? But they acting like they aren't the masters of this thing here. Right? So let's keep going.
And you know what's crazy is that's actually what's driving some of their black fatigue. They're tired of hearing about it, and they're gonna get into it. It's like, I'm tired of hearing about something that I had nothing. I didn't own any slaves. You know, so they know what they're doing. They know what has persisted for hundreds of years at this point.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? It makes me feel bad. You know, keep going.
And if you marginalize that entire segment, that voice of the country, that will lead to quote unquote radicalization. And if this country wants to avoid that, or at the very least, as we've done in the past, understand that there needs to be a major course correction in the approach to communication. That needs to go both ways. And that's why this time, I didn't visit the barbershop merely to listen, but to communicate a very real.
And he goes to the barbershop. Do you understand these people? The barbershop, where barbershop talk happens, where we talking about sports with all emotions. Everything that's talked about in the barbershop is 100% emotional. Okay. We ain't really doing no real fact checking, no statistics. The Jordan, LeBron, like he go to the barbershop.
Yes. And see, and that's what we were talking about earlier.
Grievance.
Why it's so important for us to start educating ourselves on these topics and learning these statistics, because they are preparing. And what's happening is they're trying to catch people off guard, just like the Charlie Kirks of the world were going catching these teenage college students who aren't prepared to have these discussions just because they haven't studied them with a well-rehearsed narrative plan of statistics that they could use. So it's up to us now. Period.
That's right. Shout out. Keep going.
That could bubble into massive consequences. This one goes a little bit of a different direction compared to last time. This is black and white on the gray issue. Massive of grievances that could bubble into massive consequences.
So something can bubble into massive consequences because we talk about what y'all did to us and now you're tired of it?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? You see the little subtle slick shot? What massive consequence do I get from saying, well, hey, your people hung my people? Yeah, you did. Y'all took us into slavery. Y'all raped, robbed, and murdered us, right? Y'all invented it, butt breaking. Y'all tied two people together and to a horse, slapped their butt and split them in half, quartered them. Just here in Fort Myers, y'all said two young brothers was in a pool with a white girl. Y'all took the young boy, 14 and 15 years old, took him on the back of a car and dragged him in the street until his skin fell off.
Right.
There's consequences about talking about that.
Right. And you know what's crazy is that the same people who want us to not remember are the same people who will say never forget 9/11.
Yep.
Who still to this day, hey, well, still to this day, we have 4th of July every year, right?
Yep.
We talk about the war and the Civil War and breaking off from the British and how many people died, et cetera, every day, right? I mean, every year, right? So you cannot be a hypocritical nation. And one thing I just realized right now, this dude's going to the barbershop to talk to this brother got a shirt that say Bloods versus Crips. right now in 2025, that lets you know the mindset of the person that he's chosen to speak to.
We just celebrated Columbus Day, October 13th. This month. It was Columbus Day. Okay? We still remembering Columbus. It's crazy, man. Let's keep going.
This one goes a little bit of a different direction compared to last time. This is black and white on the gray issue.
And that's Stevie right there, the blue shirt.
Blue shirt? Oh,
Yes,
Steven.
sir.
I met Cedric. I think I skipped.
He had on a MAGA hat. Okay. And he walked in and was like, hey, saw you guys on Crowder. Can I get a cut here? Yeah, I guess so, man. Come on.
Did you have your hand on your piece? You're like, I don't know if you come.
Nah, because he didn't come like that. He didn't have the backpack and the ski mask on. Yeah, he didn't have that on.
Was he nice? Was he good?
Cool.
Yeah. What do you guys think like when you see someone with a MAGA hat? Because I know we were kind of talking about that last time.
It depends on how they present themselves. To me.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, okay. So what would present themselves in a way that would be like decent versus piece of shit?
Yeah. Some people carry that air of superiority.
Yeah.
And if you present that to me, I'm very conscious of that. If you present that to me, I'm gonna respond appropriately.
Yeah.
That's just me personally.
What would be like an air of superiority?
And if we be honest, most of them present themselves in that way.
Right.
Even if it's the most subtlest way, like your coworkers at your job, that you're kind of cool with the Edomites, in some way, shape, or fashion, they 9 times out of 10 almost show that I got a little superiority over you. You're don't forget, you're still a Negro. Do not forget. I'm your friend though. Don't forget though. Go ahead, Cap.
No, but that's very true because I mean we could just see it reflected even when like international dating, right? If a white dude gets a black or Latina girl to his family, he downgraded. Oh man, don't come around, et cetera. But if you flip that, and if like especially like within the Latino community, because they got to think like basically improve the race, right? If you get with a white person, it's like, oh, you upgraded. Oh man, you came up. Because society has created a system that values those people over the people of color. We see that reflected still to this day. They keep doing the doll test, and the same results keep getting repeated in the doll test, right? But I just want to make a comment. You see how he sat down to have a peaceful conversation with these people, right? The first thing he said, "Oh, she had a hat. Did you grab your piece?" You see how he's already starting to frame the conversation. It's like you just an unruly, uncontrollable, violent person.
Yep.
Like every time I see someone,
why are you sitting down here and having a conversation with this man?
Exactly, yeah.
Let's go.
It makes no sense. Like every time I see someone with a MAGA hat, I'm grabbing my piece like I want to kill him. Are you kidding me right now? Like that doesn't make sense. That's not black culture. That's proper. That is such propaganda.
Yeah.
And it's being thrown out there as if it's a fact, like it was a joke, like a little stuff. No, that's not a joke. We don't do that. What are you talking about? Why would I do that? He's not bothering me. He has a hat on. So what?
Superiority, like
just like certain things you say in conversation, and and like you said, just in the physical nature of these chairs. Well, in conversation, you can physically go up and down and put yourself above or beneath. So when people do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I actually, when I do the change my minds and sit with people, I actually kind of slump my shoulders and deliberately kind of make myself smaller, just to not. It's like, what is it? The crab that has the red under its claws is showing danger. So I don't wear red, because apparently that signifies poison. But yeah, no, there's all these body language experts now. You watching TV, and I'm like, this seems like horse shit. Like, he looks to the left, so you can tell he's lying.
Yeah, some of it is horse.
It's like, I saw him on camera. He killed his girlfriend with a butter dish. I don't give a shit what he says.
He took too long to say that answer. He had to think about it. No, he's thinking about what he wants to say.
Yeah.
He don't just spit shit out. He wants to think about what he's saying.
Last time we talked, we were kind of just, and the reason was just like, often you see in news, people just kind of siphon themselves off right into an echo chamber. And I thought it was good. We were just kind of able to see other perspectives. Where do you think the country is now? Like with that? Like,
is that an open question? Or?
Yeah, race relations between, because last time I wanted to get your perspective, and there's a perspective now in the white community. None of us are an ambassador for the entire community, but things have changed quite a bit the last year and a half. Temperatures have gone up. But what do you guys think? What do you think we are in the country?
I'd like to chime in on that.
Yeah.
I'm happy you asked that question. There are a lot of social and economic dynamics at play that have certainly gone, in my opinion, in the wrong direction. I don't think that people really understand the gravity of where we're headed. We are vastly sliding into an autocratic regime here. And absolutely. I'll give you several reasons. See, in order to have, you can't have a one-dimensional approach when you're wanting to continue to lead from a global perspective, all right? What you see here today is an isolationism approach, which has never worked in the past because we don't have an understanding of geography and history, all right? And I'll just simply close by saying, you got to understand something. The rest of the world is grossly infuriated with the way America has taken shape. And not only that, we're ceding all our best opportunities to China, right? Look around you in the relationships they're fostering with everybody else, which includes Canada, Mexico, and they've even gone as far down into the Latin American corridor, fortifying their bases while we're still hollering that we're the greatest.
You talking about China, like in the Panama Canal?
Not just the Panama Canal. Let's pivot from the Panama Canal and let's look at the long-term strategy they have now, where they just signed an agreement with Mexico to build another canal bypassing the Panama Canal. And when you look at the whole transatlantic corridor, where you got now Brazil and Canada as well as Mexico trading, and they stopping in Peru, where China has a huge presence at, circumventing completely the navigation, the use that comes with having to use Panama Canal. So we'll avoid conflict with America and just simply go around America is what's happening here.
Talking about China?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean, I want to agree with the first part, autocratic. I think China needs to be dealt with, and this is the first time we are. I'm Canadian. Well, I was raised in Canada. Canada sucks. Canada is a dog shit country. Canada, the kind of shit we're doing, you can't do this in Canada. If you say something too offensive or I say something too offensive, you will be jailed in Canada.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. So I'm fine with the U.S. being the best country. I came here from Canada because, I have friends who were arrested. I had a friend, stand-up comic, was fined for telling a joke. I don't think people realize how good we have it here in this country compared to other countries.
But that's the pain.
But see, that's from his perspective. And granted, let's like all of us, right? We're not at this moment, right, sitting in the crib on live, fighting for our lives as our forefathers were in slavery at the moment. Like, we have some sense of comfortability in the crib. Ain't nobody coming in right now, right? But at the same time, you walk out that door, and at any moment, at my job, I got to fear for it. At my going to the store, there's a problem because there's some racist bastard that's possibly there. Sending my children to school, those are the school shooters. So they make it seem like they're such a great country, but for who? Right?
And not to mention,
the question is for who? Go ahead, Doc.
Not to mention, there's eugenics. They kill us through abortions before we even born.
Mm-hmm.
By the hundreds of thousands every single year. So let's not act like the murder, the atrocities and stuff aren't still going on. They definitely are. Man, I didn't realize this little portion was so long, but I think within the next 30 seconds, he's gonna say, okay, enough about China, and gonna get back to defining from his perspective what black fatigue is. So I think in the next couple seconds.
Mistaking part about it all is the fact that, you know, I've always been one to say, and I believe this firmly, freedom is not a right, it's a privilege until you wake up the next morning and find out you don't have it anymore.
Yeah. It also comes with duties.
That's what I was about to say. It also comes with responsibilities, because while we free to speak and say what we want, and I went to Montreal a few months ago, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bet you saw a lot of tits on signs. That's all it is.
No, I didn't.
It's just strip clubs. Our Times Square is a giant strip club.
It was a couple of them.
Yeah.
But no, like there is responsibility, and like everybody's from different places, different backgrounds. Some of us from certain backgrounds know, like, running your mouth too much in a certain space can get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
Like, you're free to say what you want. You're just not free from the consequences. Like the consequences that come with you saying the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong person.
Yeah.
And that's where we all have responsibilities in what we say and when we say it.
Yeah. The problem, though, too, and that's, I was kind of talking more domestically. The problem with that idea is a lot of people are offended by different things. Mm-hmm. And so people get their ass whooped for something they didn't say, right? That's the real thing. I don't know if you guys were following the stabbing there on that train in Charlotte, Irina Zarutska. Last time I was asking where you guys thought we were, you know, as far as in the country relation. Like, have you guys heard of the term black fatigue?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys know?
Pause it. Fuck you. Has everyone's heard about this Ukrainian girl, right? Mm. Because they keep talking about her. There's millions of dollars from Elon Musk to whoever else that want to put murals of her face all around the country, right? How many people have heard of Nia Wilson or Latifah Wilson? These two were sisters that just in 2020, they were on a train in Oakland, California, and a white man named John Lee Cowell, this dude, stabbed him for no reason. These three sisters were coming back from a family function, and they got out of the train right in front of him, and he took out a knife and slit the baby, the 18-year-old. He slit her throat and then stabbed her sister, and was trying to get her other sister, but she was able to get away.
Where's the statue?
And he said, "Huh?"
I said, "Where's the statue and the memorials, Doc?"
Where's the statues? Where the memorials for this? And this dude, he says they didn't have a permit to stand over me. He didn't like that they were getting out ahead of him. And then on the stand, he tried to say, "Well, I thought that they were a gang of aliens." I'm insane. But the judge was able to see right through that. Now, hey, I condemn this murder as much as I condemn Jake shouldn't have stabbed that Edomite girl. They both bad. But you see the hypocrisy in the difference of the outcry, the difference of the response here? That's what we're talking about. It's the hypocrisy. Mm-hmm. And it's unfair and unjust, which leads eventually to a boiling point. And that in itself is what the book Black Fatigue is about. This type of hypocrisy and the effects on the minds and the mental health of Black people, of us feeling hope. So anytime that they want to bring up Irina Zarutska, you can bring up this dude right here.
Salakis.
Go ahead.
That's such a great point. You know, it definitely shows the hypocrisy, you know, of the so-called white man and how he views his own people. You know, there's no outcry of what John Lee Cowell did, but it's only an outcry of what happened to this Ukrainian woman on a train.
Yep.
And you say that is Black culture, and you're tired and you have fatigue of Black culture, but yet you're steadily robbing our culture of the things that you deem you want. What do? Your women, they take and dance the way our women do. They love our culture so much that they will inject silicone into their face, their breasts, their butts to do what? Look like our women. You even got young white boys doing what? Putting do-rags on their head. Why? Because our young brothers rock waves. So now you got white boys who want to rock waves. So you're steadily being a culture vulture, and yet you're degrading us and saying that we do such violence to the white community, man. It's such a hypocritical stance, man. And at the same time, you refuse to take accountability for the things that you do and are doing.
Yeah. Hey, Akin, yeah. So his sentence, he got life without the possibility of parole. Because if you look into it, how this started, there was a jury, there was a deliberation going on, and they were deliberating for 3 days. And this whole thing is on camera, by the way. And the judge stepped in and said, no, this is ludicrous. This man is guilty. And the judge stepped in and made the verdict then. Because it was so obvious what was going on. And we may or may not get to it in this class, but one of the major talking points that people say about George Floyd, about this dude that stabbed a Ukrainian girl, they talk about his priors. And he shouldn't have been out. Right? This dude that stabbed him, he has 2 violent felonies prior to this.
Then they shouldn't have voted for Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
Carter the one.
Yeah. Whatever. But so we can get back to the conversation, but don't outcry about one if you can't outcry about this, because guess what? Those sisters are an American. That Ukrainian girl, she's a refugee, which she technically shouldn't have been over here anyway. That's a whole nother conversation. But she's not an American. Where's the if they're America first and all this other stuff? Where's the outcry about the 2 American victims?
Lucky the one.
One of my soldiers said they might be seeking a needle on this guy, man. Lethal injection. You know what the needle? I'm not sure if it's. I gotta look this up. With the needle used to be potassium. Give high dose of potassium, make your heart basically explode, stop your heart. Too much potassium in your system, right? It's a lethal injection. We even got to be careful how we give that in the hospital, right? So, you know, that's a when we're talking about lethal injections and things of that nature, you can see how the stereotype and the balance of this place is. Let's get that. This is one of our first scriptures, Proverbs 11. And let's get Deuteronomy. Let's go to the curses too. Deuteronomy 28 and 43.
What you want out of Proverbs 11?
Verse 1, Cap.
Okay. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse number 1. A false balance is abomination unto the Lord.
That's what it is. There's a false balance here in America.
That's right.
When you're talking about putting a statue up for the Ukrainian woman, and then this incident happened in Oakland, and there wasn't even, I honestly didn't even hear about this thing much. People still haven't heard much about Trey Reed, right? It's like a lot of, there's such a false balance when it comes to our people dying via taking a picture. There's video cameras of it happening. They didn't even show. I bet you barely can find the video footage of that incident of the girl. I wouldn't even want to see it, but see how he publicly put that on his platform, showing how the guy pulled the knife out and jumped up like some murderer. Like, yes, we're saying both are wrong, but just a false balance of how you perpetrate this incident, and then that guy was crazy. What about Jake? He definitely said he was crazy, his parents. But we never get looked at that, and that's the false balance that's here in America. And the Most High says that's an abomination to this place, man. In general, false balance, but to this place is an abomination, right? Let's get to Deuteronomy. Go ahead, Cap.
No, real quick. There was a book came out in the 1800s called Negromania, in which the author was trying to say that black people are just these raging animals, less than, and should be treated and subjected that way. And you see elements of that same sentiment when dude will show Jake like this or try to frame it as if he's just some crazed animal instead of somebody that's just mentally ill. Right? Go ahead and Deuteronomy.
Slack it one. What you want to Deuteronomy?
28 and 43.
Counter to one. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall
get the book of
up.
Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse number 43.
Bring it out.
Oh, the brother here. Oh, I got a lag. Sorry.
Slack.
Bring it out. Go ahead, out.
Counter to one. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
And that's what has happened. That's what we see. The stranger has gotten up very high, and we are very low. That's why when we get killed on camera, is what George Floyd. He was a dang porn star. He was on fentanyl. He had more. What does that have to do with you standing on his neck for 9 minutes? Like you knew his past before it had happened. Go ahead, Coach. I see you loading up over there.
But the guy Crowder, he even brings up George Floyd.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And says that he shouldn't even be out of prison because of the amount of convictions that he's had. He shouldn't even be there. He shouldn't have been there. So he should have been locked up. And that's what I mean as far as the hypocrisy. That's the reason why I brought up Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been convicted how many times? But yet you still voted for him to be president.
Yeah.
You still did it.
Hey, and the same with this guy. This guy has multiple arrests. If you guys would have did your job, he would have never killed our sister. See how we could play the same game?
Exactly.
Very hypocritical, man. I don't want to get the lesson last night. Are y'all watching? You paying attention? All right, read it from the top again. Get back to the video. Bring it out.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse number 43. It's like it. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Read.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Come on.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
That's what has happened. We have become the tail end of this thing, man. We have gotten very, very, very low to where they're publicizing black culture as twerking, smoking weed, gang banging, sports, and rappers. That is black culture. Rap music. Are you crazy?
You guys know what that means?
Since the last time you came, that's become a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just become a recent thing.
And do you know what it means?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm going to ask that.
It's a term that's being used by people in the white community, by and large, again, saying they feel like they've been victimized and they're tired of taking that shit. That was a girl who was dying alone in public. And that was a guy who was let out 14 times. 14 times, including violent crimes in the name of racial justice, right? He didn't have to post bail. He didn't have to appear back in court. This is not the first time he's assaulted someone.
How do we know that was in the interest of racial justice as opposed to just being
because the judge said it.
A fucked up attempt at justice, period.
Yeah.
Like the legal system has its flaws.
Yeah.
And people have been making complaints about that for decades, right? But that's just, to me, that's a mental health thing more than it's a black and white thing.
Well, I'll tell you why, because white people are saying it now.
Right.
See how he did not? Aaron, why did he address that? He hit it on the head. That's a mental health issue.
Oh, hey, this whole conversation, and me and the Kawash was talking about this. Y'all watch it. There's a part 1 and a part 2. Every time he gets cut, he'll be like, oh, well, okay, next. And he'll pivot. instead of actually sitting there and dealing with the issues. It's crazy.
That's right.
And he wasn't, Eric. He was not expecting that. He was that because that's true. That is true. Just like that Edomite, he could be mentally that Edomite. I don't know that Edomite that killed that Edomite could have had schizophrenia and been all out of his whackers. But
they did a whole evaluation.
Yeah, and they found he wasn't right.
Correct. That's why the judge was like, "No, this is clear what happened." And that's why the judge stepped in.
But he could have made. What I'm saying is that Edomite, he could have made that same point, and it's like I don't know. But he didn't even address that. He just let them, nope, we're not going to give him that right of even being mentally ill. He knew exactly what he was doing, and this is what black fatigue means. We're tired of y'all shit.
Yeah.
Since when? And you ain't tired of watching Sunday football when it's all black people on that field, majority. You ain't tired of watching new basketball, NBA season, when it's mostly black people on the field or on the court. You ain't tired of that, getting the money from that. You ain't tired of black people selling out your arenas with these rap shows and R&B concerts. You ain't tired of getting the money off of us, but when it comes to the racial discrepancy of this country, and when we're speaking up about it and talking about it and not taking y'all crap no more of y'all just being racist, and we're gonna sit there and be quiet and let the dogs bite us and let y'all spray fire hoses on us, we ain't going for that no more. Now y'all got some black fatigue and lied about it too, because it's a whole book came out prior. I gotta find out when that book came out with the system.
Select it one.
That
came out in 2020.
2020. So now it's a term that's being used, but the sister already made an entire book, meaning she had to think about it, get it written on paper, get it illustrated, fact check, spell correct, and then publish the book for the entire world. But that's a white coin term? Are you kidding me? But it goes to show they steal everything. They've been stealing everything. Right, let's keep going.
It make me want to read that book. The book must have been fired. They say, you know what, that is good.
There's no way. We got to get that book.
Discovered that. We're gonna have to discover that term.
It's
we might have to read that book. Somebody, one or two of us. That's a good idea. We need an SOT, like a book club where brothers is reading straight books.
It's like
go ahead.
We had that. Jakes wasn't reading.
I was just gonna say, I would say my best suggestion is to check your library. I actually just checked just now, and it's actually at one right like 5 minutes across the street from me. I just place that thing on hold. What's that?
I said that's a good idea. Just go to your local library. Good idea. Got to utilize the library, man.
Count the one.
Count on one.
Just bring it out.
White people are saying, "Hey, we're in." Makes it a bigger thing because that's just to me that's a mental health thing more than it's a black and white thing.
Well, I'll tell you why, because white people are saying it now.
Right.
Not just white people are saying, "Hey, we're in."
Makes it a bigger thing.
Well, because white people are 12 times as likely to be killed by a black person than the other way around. I'm just going to shoot you straight. It's not even close.
Where?
Across the country.
Where? Like not in
the United States. I mean, we're not talking about Ghana.
And like.
Yeah. Where? Obviously, we talking where. Show me where. Where? Look at the stat. Look at the stat he just quoted.
It's the other way around. I'm just going to shoot you straight. It's not even close.
Where?
Across the country.
Where? Like not in
the United States. I mean, we're not talking about Ghana.
And like, what I'm saying is, in white communities or in quote unquote so-called white communities
across the country, the rate is a black man or person, because most murders men. There are very few female murders. 12 times more likely to kill a white person the other way around. And then you look at the average amount of times that someone in this country is arrested before they're brought in for killing, charged with murder. Do you know how many times they're arrested on average before they murder? 11 times.
Once again, the justice system's got its flaws, and people have been complaining about that for years. We spend more time trying to fix that than trying to complain about the white versus black of it all.
Well, I think just like I was trying to listen.
But that statistic, like How do white people get to just throw? Where's he has to give me the? I want to be able to research this.
So they tried to make him stand on that and say, well, what source? He says, well, what if it is true? What if it is? Yeah. Then what does that mean?
Select the one. Then the response to that is, what if it's not?
There's a woman. Oh, you got it.
I just looked it up. Just not this Chat GPT. It is not end all be all. It's an AI generation. AI generated. It is not 100% facts, but it's not. But there is truth in it. Okay. So we're not using this as a source, but just as a quick way to find answers. And the database says victims are most often likely killed by someone often of their same race. For example, 84% of white victims of homicide were killed by whites. Similar, 93% of blacks. So maybe what he's trying to say here is the number that's left out, which would be 16%, is black people killing white people. I can see an Edomite doing that. I can see an Edomite doing that.
He said 12 times.
Go ahead, Doc.
He said 12 times, not 12%.
Yeah, he did say 12
meaning
times.
100% times 12.
Shh, bro, my God.
It's a lucky one.
Go ahead, Doc.
Go ahead.
And it's like they know how to argue this point, because when we bring up the statistics for them killing each other, they say, well, it's because we live near each other and stuff like that. But it's just like, yo, yeah, you're trying to push this BS statistic on us, like to our brothers. Of course, they're not even thinking, well, where's the stats and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's just like they just get to throw this stuff out there, and it's just okay. But it's just like, no, y'all got to stop that.
Look at this. A report by the Marshall Project found that when a white person kills a black male civilian, the killing is labeled justifiable. Mm-hmm. Far more often than 17% than average homicide cases. Man, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. And you know what's crazy? When the last time you've seen an Edomite walk into a black or Latino community and just get attacked or told you better get out of here, or targeted in any way, shape, or form? Look in the back chat to that YouTube video. It's a documentary. Jake went to how do I say it? I think it's Palousca, Tennessee. It's a whole town right now. This was like a week ago. He released a documentary talking about the most racist town in America. These people, they're still right now an entire town with an entire body of people, which means that you have the power to do that, because like Bell Hope is an academic that talks about these things, explains racism itself is not just bigotry, but it's bigotry with the power to put policies in place to actually oppress someone. So to literally be able to have a whole town exist that basically is still to this day a sundown town, and it's kind of expected that you're going to get hurt if you're black and you're there. That's completely that goes against this statistic that he's trying to say. Guess what? That's not the only one. It was a documentary, y'all. People have probably seen it, about Zinc, Arkansas, that came out a couple years ago. When the brother went over there and just to interview people, and people said, brother, you better get out of here. You better leave. Because if you still here by the time I come back, you're gonna get hurt. And this is right now. This is very recent. There's no town, black or brown, that exists in which if a white person comes into, they have to deal with that type of oppression, that type of treatment or behavior whatsoever. Look, Jake be so ready to invite folks to the cookout just because they could dance. When do you see that happening? Hey, so this video is cool, but we might as well get to number 2.
All right. I even looked it up, man. ChatGPT is like, it's terribly untrue. It's impossible that could be a statistic. White people will be dying and being murdered at a mass rate if it was 12 times more likely. You should say a 12 times more likely to hold a door open for you.
Mm-hmm.
But that also shows you that they control a narrative. So even at where we were going into the case on Jay Reed, you know, to show the killing of an innocent black man by, you know, a so-called white man, it has to be reported as such. Mm-hmm. So if they report it in such a way where they hold themselves not guilty, that shows you that they control the narrative. So you're able to put out many statistics, you know, from a white perspective, but from our perspective, we don't have those because you control it.
Right.
And that's get Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5.
Count out of 1. This is the book of Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
They do what?
Hold themselves not guilty.
So they hold themselves not guilty after slaying an innocent black man or a black woman. So they can say, oh, he committed suicide. Jay Reed ain't commit suicide. That man was murdered and hung. He was beaten. But they hold themselves not guilty. So they have the justice system is surrounded by them. So they have policies and rules to protect themselves against the repercussions of the actions that they committed. So they're not facing hard time, but it's our people that's facing hard time. Mm-hmm. Our people that's being put under the jail, man.
Hey, you brought our brother Trey Reed. So Trey Reed, Mingo Desmond Allen, Javon Maurice, Demetrius Moore, those are all 4 brothers that were hung just this year. And guess what? There was another one that just happened, I think, in Texas. Somebody was hung and set on fire off a bridge in the last day or 2. So we're not talking about something because he's going to try to make the point in this portion that, you know what, that doesn't happen anymore. Let's talk about today. Today, you're pissing us off talking about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. And when they start throwing in rates and times, you can't even compare those. Even the data be skewed. Okay. even the data they use is skewed. When we're talking about just raw data and comparing numbers. Let's keep going, man. You say you want to go to the second video? Now, the second video, I don't know if the chat is ready for the second video. I don't know. Let's just play a little bit more. Let's warm them up real quick. Let's warm them up. All right. Because I don't know if the chat is ready for what he's going to say in the next part 2. We play a little bit more. They say they're ready. Hold on.
To all communities last time, I think this is something that's unavoidable. If this community, if enough white people get pissed off, they're going, look, we're living in New York now, we're getting killed in record numbers, or Detroit, 12 times the rate. And our system, 3 strikes in California, right? That was a 3-strike policy. The reason that was changed, they said it was racist. Crime went down in black communities 30%. But now people are looking at their cities going, this is a fucking hellscape. And the murders skyrocketed because people said in the name of racial justice, like 3 felonies, you're out.
Because crime is crime, right? But crime is usually going to be higher concentrated in areas where there's high poverty. So typically the areas that's high poverty in this country are areas with people with this color skin. So that's why you're gonna have that. That's why I said those numbers could be skewed and made to manipulate to look like, oh yeah. That's why I said in
not a 12 times the rate. Not a 12 times the rate.
In suburban neighborhoods, white people are not in danger, and that's what this kind of fear mongering tells them is that you're in danger because you're 12 times more likely to get killed by a black person. You live in ain't nobody coming after you. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody tripping on you. But these people are just as scared as the other folks.
They are if they get on a bus.
Not necessarily.
They are if they get on a train.
That lady wasn't in danger because that man was black. That lady was in danger because that man was crazy.
Nope.
That man was mentally insane.
But why was he back on
family members? He had his own family members call the hospital to try to get him committed.
This is such a great. This brother, I'm gonna give this brother a clap. He's doing a good job. He's not taking Esau's crap right now. Like, what are you? You gotta stand on what you're saying. You have to stand on what you're saying, Esau. What do you mean by when? A white city in Florida would be like Palm Beach Island, right? One of the richest cities, Jupiter Island, right? Out there where Trump and them live at. You think they're in danger to black people? The population of white people over there is probably 100%. You think that they're in danger to black people? Like black people was going across the island in the bridges to commit the crimes. Like, is that that's the point of brother? Like, is that a thing? Like, I want brothers to think of a rich city where they live. Are black people contemplating, let's go over there and do the crime? You know why they don't do that? What's the first thing if one of the Jakes even say something stupid like that, what do the rest of the friend group say? Negro, you done lost your mind. We going to jail over the mess with the white people. That's the first thing they say. But we going to jail over the mess, man. No, we going to jail over the messing with the white people, dog. Ain't no way. It's not happening. So when you say 12 on a bus, 12 times more likely, and I want to see what he was going to say because he was about to say something slick. Why was he in the back of the bus then? Because that was the open speech, you idiot. Now, I can't. Yeah, it's not happening in Naples. That's out here where I'm at. It's not. They are not in danger they are not. I promise you. You go over there, they're happy. They're having MAGA parades. No danger. They have stores where they're celebrating MAGA and Trump and America being great. And I walk into the store on the day parade with my family, and they're looking at me like, what are you Negroes doing here? You don't know what day it is? Yes. My mother-in-law could vouch for this. They looking at us like, y'all must be new in town because this is MAGA day. Y'all just trying to come get some watermelons, but we was in danger for we was like, mom was like, we might gotta get up out of here quick. This ain't, she was even uncomfortable. Because it just don't like, so what the statistics and what he's spewing, this is all made up, and it's a fear tactic for white people to do something. Matter of fact, wasn't the country in danger when y'all stormed the Capitol?
No.
Nah.
Like, what are we talking about, man?
Hey,
go ahead.
You know what's funny is,
well, go ahead, Captain Quabzali, get in there.
All right, cool. Hey, you notice how when Jake said something, all Esau had to say, nope, yep, just bypassing it.
Yeah.
Pay attention to this. And this is why you got to be prepared to know these statistics, know these examples, and stand on it and make them stand on it the same way they're going to try to have you hold the bag for every single thing that Jake has done in the past. All right, I'll yield. Go ahead.
It's like you lied on. I didn't have a point.
Say it again.
Oh, I said I don't want. I didn't have a point.
Okay. Let's keep going. Get a little bit more of this.
He told his sister he killed that woman because he thought she was trying to read his mind.
Yep. Why was
Now look at you. Now, how can you say yep and then say black fatigue in the same breath?
he let out though? And I'm not saying it's because he's black. Yeah, I'm saying people look at it though. The judge said
No, but you're making about him. You're making it about him being black. When the brother is saying that brother was actually crazy, it has nothing to do with him racially profiling that woman to kill her. He did not wake up in the morning and say, I want to go kill a white woman. Sorry, unalive a white woman, how your school shooters do. And then write, what do they call it? What do they call the little thing they write?
The manifesto.
And then write a whole manifesto.
Yep. Yep. Hey, or there was a video I showed. It was an Edomite call and said, hey, I want to donate to Planned Parenthood, but I want to make sure that this goes specifically to black children. I only want to abort black children. My dollars. And he was like, can I do that? And they were like, yeah, absolutely, you can do that. So just here's where to donate to, and we'll make sure that happens.
That's how it goes. Let's play a little bit more of this.
he's insane, right? We agree.
That's not a black and white issue.
He was deemed not fit to stand trial, right?
Right.
Now
He should have been institutionalized.
Right. The IOU policy, meaning you don't have to pay bail. You don't even have to stay here until you're actually convicted. You just say you'll come back.
Right, which is messed up.
Yeah, the judge, Teresa Stokes, black woman, said, well, this is about racial justice. We need to be softer on crime. So that's her reasoning. That's why he was out. And you can find dozens of examples.
That's her misguided reasoning.
And that's policy.
But that's systemic, though, right?
That's not representative of a whole.
It's not. It's not. No, and look, we always have to say not all. Right. Like not all white people wear.
But that's the point. So now we can go to the next video because he was cut.
Yep.
He was cut. And the brother's right. If that's how she coined it, that doesn't. You're still making it about black people in general doing racial crime because you said white people are more likely. Look how he brought it up or loaded this question up. White people are more likely to be killed by black people, and then he talked about this instance as this isn't a zoomed in instance where the brother was actually crazy and he did not have a racial motive to kill that woman. He did not. So then why would you bring this instance up as if it's a fact statement or a factual instance to show that white people are unalive 12 times more or will be unalive or more likely to be unalive 12 times more by a black person? Why did you bring that up? If this is a one instance where the dude was actually crazy. Because they're trying to push a narrative in society. And I guarantee if we go fact check and look at this stuff in Twitter, oh my God, they're destroying that black man and black people in general. Go ahead, Carol.
He was not expecting them to have something intelligent to say back.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They expect you to just get triggered and say something honestly ignorant and say, "Oh well," or whatever. That's why we have to prepare ourselves, because once we get to the second layer of the conversation, their whole thing falls apart.
Yeah, because they're honestly this is Esau's game. They portray that they're playing chess. But once you start playing chess back, because you actually know how to play and got gambits and little things, got a middle game and an end game, you realize Esau's actually playing checkers. They're actually playing checkers. There's nothing behind it, okay? They're not really they're trying to double jump, triple jump you. Where if you find that Jake that's trying to play chess, he's trying to take the king, man. And you realize that when you look at these even conversations with Charlie Kirk, right? It's the same thing. Initially, it seems like he's playing chess. When you listen to him, like he's making good points. He's black. He's cutting the black guy. But then if another black guy or Jake asking the right questions, it's like, no, bro. You have no defense. You're just saying stuff and it's mostly a lie. Because there's no factual evidence to stand on that. They're playing Jenga. That's right. They're playing Jenga. They're just trying to knock the house down and make us look stupid. Go ahead, Nayo.
Yo, the thing is, right, because you hit it on the nose, right? Once the brother made the argument that it can go both ways, so within that argument, the brother's actually being fair with him, right? Once you show that you're not an emotional, the prototypical emotional angry black man, but you actually have some intelligence about yourself, you can actually deal with your points, deal with this devil's points. Now the devil have to back down and have to act accordingly, because his whole argument was painting a broad brush upon all black men. Right? But then as soon as he seen the brother start painting that picture, remaking it and reshaping it into reality, that devil had to deal with that and be like, you know what? He called my bluff. I have to play ball with him just to keep up within the conversation. Now I got to put my hands up talking about, it's not all. I get what you're saying. So it's that's why those talking points, especially when it comes to those statistics, they only work on college students who have never been prepared for them arguments, who don't really know what's going on. But if you run into a brother or a sister that knows what's going on, them devils, they don't know how to argue past those points. They don't know how to argue that after that, because you poke holes in their argument. So now what they do, like a fool, what he tried to do was cast the brother's wisdom behind his back and still try to stand on his point. But the brother didn't move. He stood his ground and made him deal with that. And that made that devil put his hands up and submit. I yield with that other one.
Hey, Salaki, real quick. Let's get Psalms 73 and 8.
I'm already right.
Classic.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73 in verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
You see, that's what's happening right now. It's coming from a corrupt point of view. And concerning the oppression, it's wicked to lie. It's wicked to twist it and call the just corrupt and the corrupt just, pursuant to Proverbs 17 to 15. Right? But keep going. This is the point.
They speak loftily.
Loftily. What does it mean to be lofty? To almost be pompous, be pious, think that you're better than someone, and be very prideful in the way that you comport yourself, right? We see that happening right now. He's basically saying, that didn't happen. I'm white, believe me. I can throw out these statistics and you're just supposed to believe me. And then went and called on it. Nope. Or, well, what if it is true? What if it was? Then what? And you're gonna see now in part 2, he basically gonna say, so what? We're tired of hearing about it and don't make us mad because we got all the guns. So wrap all of this up.
Gonna find out. Gonna find out quick. Listen good.
They paid them same taxes. They didn't need a number for how much
you're
we
talking
were
about reparations to a young person, right?
Go,
in the name of sins of forefathers.
30 seconds. Go back to 1930, just to get the context of this.
All right.
Injustices that have been done to impede black businesses. That's so it's not enough now.
But what would
you
be
have
enough?
to ask yourself, why would they do that? Why would they pay that?
What's the number?
Oh, because conditions historically.
What's the number, right? Public Department of Education, Great Society, Model Cities Program, Black Businesses, Pell Grants, Affirmative Action, DEI. It's not enough. What's the number that's enough?
Once again, just like we said about the civil rights movement, about the education, all that.
Right now, they're having a conversation about reparations. Do you notice how he's saying, well, what's the number? What's the number that's enough? Can you please, and remember earlier, he brought up in the intro of his other video when the sister said, I need 300,000. He made it seem as if she was coming with some crazy grandiose number, pull a rabbit out of a hat, right? Well, we do know that once slavery was abolished in 1865, there was a promise made. That promise was 40 acres and a mule, right? So if we bring the value of 40 acres and a mule to right now, it's a little over, boom, right. It's $6.4 trillion, which is, they're saying 100 to 400,000 depending upon where you are. But if you just look at the average, it's between 250 to around a little upwards of $300,000 that they would owe someone. You see, if you adjust for inflation, is $6.4 trillion. Now, this is not something that we said we deserve 40 acres and a mule. This is what was promised to us.
You said that. They said that. We didn't ask for that. We just let us go. Shoot, okay, 40 acres and a mule, we take that too. Never happened.
Right?
Another white lie.
But and so he said, well, what's enough? We created all these diversity programs, DEI, and basically made you easier for you to integrate into our society. Because honestly, I'm gonna be honest, they had to kind of create these programs because America wanted to compete with Russia and all the other superpowers. So they said, we got to do something. We got to utilize this force and get them here. And, forget all these trades. You got to come in here and build my corporation so we can have big business so that way we can compete. Because you just circling your dollars in your community, that's not working for us. We need them. Right? Give me real quick Psalms 55 and 20. Go ahead.
No, I said, I don't want my guy. That's so true. Doors unlocked, windows open, keys left in the car. Hey, ain't no worries. Wallet, purse, everything in the car. Ain't no worries, man.
Yeah.
Count on the one. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He hath broken his covenant.
Now, mind you, this is so crazy. This dude, he's got almost 6 million subscribers. His whole shtick is going to black communities to be rude as hell, manipulate statistics, and have these uncomfortable conversations and consistently bring up our oppression as if we're obligated to talk about our issues with you.
Mm-hmm. That's another part.
How many of us can go in their communities and feel just as comfortable doing that, feel just as safe doing that, right? How many of the Native Americans were trying to be peaceable with Esau? How many of the slaves were, hey, you know what? We don't want to hurt Massa. We don't want to do anything right there. I know it's 100 of us on this plantation, only 10 of them in this house. And technically by numbers, we could destroy. But you see, we tried every time to be peaceable. But what does it say? He had put forth his hands against us that are peaceful with him. And then finally, when he realized, okay, I've kind of abused this, he makes a covenant. I give you 40 acres and a mule. I give you the Dawes Act that basically says that we're no longer going to oppress Native Americans, but actually grant you land. But then you break that. You break every covenant and every treaty. And so what these people are talking about, these reparations, is something that was promised. And now we feel bad and they have black fatigue because they're saying, why should we have to pay what was promised to you? Okay, why are you paying Ukraine? Why are you still paying the Japanese? Why are you paying reparations and money around the world? Why are you sending money over there to the Middle East, to those folks? Right? All right, we can keep going with the video. No, matter of fact, keep going to finish 21.
Count on the one. Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Now
his work.
that's being reflected here. So like it is being reflected here because his whole thing is, hey man, I'm coming to have these conversations to figure out how we can exist and coexist. And man, this is just great. But you're going to see as we get there, he's saying, now listen, you better talk to me and figure this out, and you better change, or else death is coming to your door. Or else us who got all the guns, we're going to tear you up. Because war is in his heart. We see this, right? Keep going.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
And we see that a lot of times through these programs and these welfare systems and these things that make it seem like they're given to give us a leg up or to make things equitable, but really they're not. They're to systematically oppress and disenfranchise family systems. Because we know that like the nuclear family home, I think is like the best indicator for a person's success. So what do? Ooh, let's create programs to separate the man and woman. Ooh, you know what? What was that dude's name? Cohen. Yeah. Liar Cohen. Remember the music executive, he went on the Breakfast Club and they said, bro, why did your label keep creating music that oppresses our people and just degrades us and just make us look bad? He said, well, I gotta eat. It sells. It sells not because that's what we originally wanted to hear. It sells because that's the only form of music that you allowed us to make money off of. And you kept force feeding this imagery and psychologically brainwashing us to say, oh, this is good. We're going to get into the psychology of this a little later too, by the way. You can please proceed. So they're talking about how much is enough. Well, technically, this is what you owe $6.4 trillion technically.
And let's just look at some of the other countries that get aid. Like Ukraine gets 16.6. They got 16.6 billion. All right. Israel, we already know, top. One of the top. Right. Okay. Ethiopia gets 1.8 billion of aid from America. Jordan, 1 billion of aid. That's just 4 countries getting close to 50. I don't even want to go too crazy, but 50 billion, because we know the number that's going to Israel is crazy. So that's a low number, probably. Just in aid from America.
Watch this. Do you know we send tens of millions of dollars to Hamas a week? The United States government sends to Hamas, the terrorist organization. It's either Hamas or Taliban, Al-Qaeda, one of those. But we send them to say, hey, basically appease them. I think it's the Taliban, to appease them and make sure that they don't, commit any more atrocities. We send that to them a week. That's confirmed.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. Now. That's a good point. Well, let's keep going. Hey, Esau got a lot more to say. He ain't even touched it yet.
You can do certain things in the name of doing the right thing, but then you do it wrong. So
what's the number?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't personally have an answer.
One second. Would you agree that if a young person who has no connection to slavery whatsoever, you probably need a number for them? Otherwise, they're probably going to be pissed.
They didn't need a number for Ukraine. Sure, they paid them same taxes. They didn't need a number for how much
You're
we were
talking
going to pay.
about reparations to a young person, right? In the name of sins of forefathers. My point is, what's the number? Because the number now is trillions of dollars. I get it. The government screws everything up, and I will agree on that. What's the number? Right? In the name of sins of forefathers. My point is, what's the number? Because the number now is trillions of dollars. I get it. The government screws everything up, and I will agree on that. What's the number? You're sitting down right now with a 22-year-old white kid.
Give my daughter $15 million. We'll call it.
$15 million.
$15 million. We'll call it square. That's for me. That's for me and for them.
$15 million. Okay.
$15 million. Look, since a lot of people don't care about their taxes, add an extra 2% to what you pay in taxes. How about that? 2%. That's a number.
2% for how long?
Let's see. How long? It was,
So 2% only for white people who have a connection to slavery at their forefathers, right?
How long were we in slavery?
You'd end up with no money.
200 and...
You'd end up with zero money. You'd each end up with about $14.99.
You keep letting our people off the
But
hook.
that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the government paying taxes. I'm not talking about just people who are responsible. Once again, I'm not responsible for anything happening in Ukraine, but I'm paying for it.
I agree.
It's a good. So then, why do you agree? Why do you agree? I agree. He cutting them up.
So why rationale not transfer to this?
Because it's rationale.
Even
but y'all voted for it. Y'all voted.
Wow. Hey, him trying to say that we'll end up with $15 because only a few people were involved in slavery, right? Guess what? Okay, if that's what you want to go for. However, basically every Edomite or every white person, any other nation, they benefit from the institutions that were set up post-slavery, like in the Jim Crow era. We just saw the sister who put a white face on her same qualifications on LinkedIn, and they was hunting her down for a job. They was hunting her down for a job. So obviously, but when she had her face and her name and everything, all the qualifications the exact same, she could barely get a call back. Which shows that there are still systems in which the average white person, whether they have benefited from slavery or not, they could be from some other country and come here and still reap the benefits of that system set in place. Because guess what? A lot of these corporations, they were founded and got their money from slavery in times and the slave trade and just the entire system that happened post slave trade. So they still got these policies in place. No, go ahead.
Keep listening. He ain't done.
It's not when the United States is the people who perpetrate.
Well, that's why I need to ask the number, because if you're talking about more than $15,
and then see how he be spinning it. Hey, Ira, this dude is good at spinning it, man. Because that was the United States created this thing for me to pay taxes to Ukraine. You're not. What? Why aren't you doing videos with your so-called white fellows and talking about, we gotta get the taxes from you? We gotta stop paying that. Where is that video? But you want to go into the barbershop and talk about black people not getting reparation. See the hypocrisy? He calling out the hypocrisy. He shouldn't have put this video out. Throwing the chairs at him, man.
for black
we're
person,
going to be a part
you're talking about trillions of dollars.
Right, but if we're going to be a part of the same
and
country, like Lane said, we're going to all be a part and members of the same country. Well, we have to take on what comes with that. What comes with that is historically, every time like Chris said earlier, every time black people have achieved en masse, it's been torn down. No. And then you get to a point
where you're talking about the riots,
then you get to a point where you're like,
that was crazy. I got to turn my computer up. Did you hear what he just said?
Nope.
Did you just hear what he said? Yo, to the general, did you just hear that? No. Unless you're talking about the riots.
The riots.
Mm-hmm. But he can't. Man, I gotta go back on that one. Hold on, I need a scripture for that. Hold on. Hey, give me Proverbs 18 and 6, yo. Forget the chairs. Forget the chairs.
Counter to one. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 6. A fool's lips enter into contention.
Go ahead.
And his mouth calleth for strokes.
Mouth calleth for strokes, man, with that. Hit the fool's lips cause contention, man. I'm gonna let y'all hear it again.
Country. Well, we have to take on what comes with that. What comes with that is historically, every time like Chris said earlier, every time black people have achieved en masse, it's been torn down. No. And then you get to a point
where you're talking about the riots,
Then you get
unless you're talking about the riots. So the riots, which we got video camera of it being your white men, boys, starting a lot of the fires and breaking and destroying and rioting black buildings and black businesses. Now, I'm not saying it was all. Like he said, all was not all. I'm not. But y'all had a hand in it too.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that have to do? He's getting very. See how he playing checkers? He's getting. That's you right out of one. He's playing. He's getting uncomfortable right now. Now, why he's turning red, taking sips of water. Now they changed the angle. What angle was that? When he said that, why we couldn't see it in his face when he made that comment? So you're gonna compare Black Wall Street and it being destroyed to us, and you're gonna say no, but say, well, the black people was doing that to their own communities during the riots. What about Watts? Excellent point.
All right.
What conversation is he trying to have with these people? They actually, black people from this conversation, he thinks black people are stupid. That's what he had. It's the only thing. There's no other. Yeah. Oh no, I can't come to no other conclusion. Black people are stupid.
Yeah,
God,
that's what he thinks.
Let's keep going because he's not done. I think he got upset with that, and I think that's why he about to say the next thing he said.
To a point where you're like,
right?
I can mention there's several black communities that's under lakes. There's one that's under Central Park in New York. Like, there's plenty. But my point is, then you get to a point where you say, okay, we're gonna do this in the interest of justice. But then redlining and all that stuff happens, and then the prison industrial complex, all of that stuff that happens that adds to the wrong of it. It gets mixed in and say, well, yeah, we tried, and you should just be happy with it.
Here's the problem. What you just said, it was the rhetoric and the reasoning behind catch and release, doing away with the 3-strike policy. You point to New York. You got a black mayor and crime got worse.
Because he's a criminal.
And because you got 30 million people living in a
white guy before him. He was grabbing, grabbing every guinea intern.
And probably the white guy that put him in his spot.
Okay, so it's worse. In other words, it's...
And your president is a felon multiple times. What are we talking about?
Worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the industrial complex. That's why that's why that guy was out 14 times.
But I'm saying that's
why
also why you have less fathers. That's why you have less fathers in the home. So redlining and the prison industrial complex is the two main caveats to less fathers in the home.
We've done the opposite of the prison industrial complex. Violent offenders are being released into society and committing crime in record numbers right now.
Dog, do you see what he's saying? The brother that was mentally ill, that he was hearing that the woman that was sitting in front of him was going to threaten him or hurt him and unalived her, unfortunately, right? You keep making that point for victims being unreleased and doing criminal acts as if that situation is the standard.
Right.
But you're not only doing that to make it the standard, you're doing it to show, see, black people get out of jail and continue to commit violent crimes, and they'll go as far as killing a white person or Ukrainian.
Right.
And it was racially profiled. Do you see the hypocrisy of this country, man?
Yep. And not only that, as he's getting cut with these facts and this history, he says, well, okay, fine. He basically conceded. He said, well, that's why we gave you programs, like took away the 3 strikes law. That's why we basically stopped punishing you so harshly. Essentially is what he's saying. But there was nothing to be said of, okay, that's true. Well, here's what we've given you to help you. Here's what we've given you to, you know what, let me give you a form of reparations. It may not be monetary, but we can do some other things.
Yeah.
That are not only tied to your system. We'll help you better integrate into our own system. We'll make it a little easier. We got to watch for the people that say, well, you know what? I just want to be as negative, but are not looking to help you or give you anything positive.
Yeah. We'll change and structure some laws that are kind of help you, but they benefit us as well. All right, because black people aren't the only people that get affected by the 3-strike rule.
Right.
So it benefits the entire state of California. Right. And then look what it says. The 3 rights rule still exists here in Louisiana. So what brother you have to say.
Right. And that DEI benefits white women more than any other statistic or any other group.
That's probably, let's not even say probably, that's who it was made for, but they put it in the name of black people to appease us.
Right.
Look, we've given you something. Stop the reparation conversation. We give you little jewels here and there, but every jewel you give us benefits y'all in some way, shape, or form. Oh, it has to.
Nope.
But we haven't even got to the part yet.
Nonviolent offenders are being held on petty charges.
No, they're not.
I've personally done the numbers on
How did that guy get out after 14 times? George Floyd 9 times. Do you realize 11 times arrested as an average murderer?
And you got people in there for weed charges. That's in there for.
It's not a thing. It's less than 0.5%
personally.
of federal penitentiary.
And that's the thing. When you tell somebody that
wrong,
personal knowledge don't matter because the stats matter more. I personally know this. I know somebody right now that's in jail for small shit, but I know somebody else that did some big shit and they out.
Small shit, keep defining. So he had a joint on him.
Selling weed.
He's in prison right now because he had a joint,
but a small amount. One
time he got caught selling. One time a small joint he was selling.
No,
let's talk about small things.
But
Let's
if you
talk
want,
about it. What is it really?
That's what I'm saying. If you want to frame it in the one time
it's not a small
joint,
and that's the problem when you talk about our culture versus their culture, and him coming into our culture to try to have the conversation about our culture.
Yep.
Care. The generals say this all the time. Do you think he goes home and is trying to defend and talk about bettering black people in general? Or is he going home looking up the statistics to make black people look worse? He's not. They don't go home and trying to make our community. How can we make them better? They don't do that. It's not a thing.
Nope.
Now we found out what they're really talking about at the table. Black fatigue. I'm tired of them talking about this, actually. That's what they're sitting down talking about.
Yeah.
Keep going.
That's a small man argument. I'm saying,
what is he in for?
I don't know how much he had, but it was.
And one time?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was one time.
He got caught one time.
No, I don't know. It wasn't his first time. No.
Okay, so he got caught multiple times.
Yeah.
And he was selling weed.
But every time wasn't the same thing.
Do you know how many people die from laced weed?
I don't.
You know about the fentanyl problem in this country?
Yeah, I do know about fentanyl.
You know that most people aren't trying to get fentanyl, right?
But
now, weed itself never killed anybody.
I'm about to say fentanyl ain't our thing.
No, what I'm saying.
See, now he see how he trying to take it to a whole nother term. The opioid pandemic is not y'all thing. We don't have a lab creating opioids. That's not what we're doing.
Fentanyl comes from China.
We're not doing it. It's like we're not creating these things.
Do you realize why trafficking drugs is a problem? You said a little thing. Can I tell you that if I had a white friend who was caught trafficking drugs, and I don't think weed should be outlawed, by the way, it's bullshit, just to be clear. But if I had a white friend who was arrested the umpteenth time for selling a brick of weed, I would go, yeah, that makes sense. We would expect it.
Not for weed.
Of course.
Not for me.
Selling weed, yeah. Selling a giant brick of weed multiple times, yes. Yes,
and
those are choices.
And at the same time, I know people personally that like you got dudes out here like selling all kinds of other shit.
What about the conversation when we talking about crack cocaine, right? Black people getting found with it or selling it versus selling cocaine. And how we get 10 to 20 for that. But when they was getting caught with it, slap on the wrist.
Drug program.
Not to mention, where did the influx of cocaine come from? From the CIA to fund their little proxy war in Nicaragua because they wanted to control the political entity that had power over Nicaragua. So they wanted to fund, I think, the Contras. They wanted to fund that group so they could have power in the region. So in order to fund that, they moved the cocaine here. They moved the cocaine here and started making sure that it was sold and it spread across America, and then took that money and sent it over there for their power in Nicaragua. So even then, come from Esau and the government.
So conversation it's a nuanced conversation, but he's really getting away from the major point. But he's gonna bring it back home. Just wait.
They ain't gonna even put names on it, but you got dudes out here selling all kinds of other shit. And they free. They've been arrested a couple times too, but they back out.
But at what point do we say, hey, you know what? Once you've been arrested for trafficking, for selling drugs, if you do it again, that's kind of on you.
Cocaine, man, we'll let you back out for cocaine. Oh, meth, don't worry about it. Sit in the pen.
You
for
said a little
years.
thing. That's not a little thing.
Oh no, 8 to 9 years, you done.
Okay, how about this? Someone who goes out and commits multiple crimes and felonies, if we do doesn't get any reparations. Because the white kid who didn't break the law, who never had any slaves and his forefathers, shouldn't be paying for someone who's a serial offender. Could we do that math? Would that be fair?
No.
Nope. Okay.
No.
Absolutely.
And the reason why, once again, because
I'm trying to find some common ground because that white kid.
And I'm trying to tell you, you're trying to start the starting point right here when you're not factoring in what happened to get that kid in that low income impoverished environment that created the criminal that he ended up being.
Oh my God, this is what we're doing. It's not crime, it's poverty. Then why do poor white people not commit violent crime at the same rate?
They do.
No, they don't.
It's just usually different types of crime.
No, they do not.
They do.
It's a fact, dude.
Y'all just shovel them all
They
in the
just
trailer
different
park,
types.
act
Yeah,
like
they
they
just
don't
different
exist.
types of
No,
crime. And then
we don't shovel in the trailer park. They sell.
They go off in the hills and live amongst the rest of the toothless hillbillies, but they do. Yeah,
we're talking about statistical reality.
There's no cameras over there.
The young white male, when the young white male is the real threat to America as it stands.
You know what? You're right. I agree. I agree.
I want y'all to listen good now. Jake says something. Of course, 100%. 100%. Now, I want y'all to listen to what Jake just said. Go back just a little bit.
Male is the real threat to America as it
The young white male is the real threat to America. Listen, we would agree. Watch his response.
You know what? You're right. I agree. I agree. You're right about that. Because young white males are going to be the majority with guns, and if you keep telling them that they're fucking criminals and they should pay for people's bad decisions, you don't want to see them angry.
What does that mean?
Exactly.
I need a general to answer that question. What do you think that means, Adawan? I want Mike Kaya to come to the stage. What does that mean? What does that mean? I need a exactly. What is the meaning of that statement? I need him to qualify that statement. Like we got listen again. Like, what does he mean by that?
We're talking about statistical realities.
There's no cameras over there. The young white male, when the young white male is the real threat to America as it stands.
You know what? You're right. I agree. I agree. You're right about that. Because young white males are going to be the majority with guns, and if you keep telling them that they're fucking criminals and they should pay for people's bad decisions, you don't want to see them angry. Because they've never been angry. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at young men, and they're way, way more angry than I ever was.
Well, if they're that angry, why they could?
So they're getting their ass kicked.
So if they're that angry,
they're getting by who? Who are they getting their butt kicked by?
It's Salakia.
Go ahead.
But this statement shows you the entire reason of this man having this conversation. For him to say that they are far more angrier than I was at that age lets you know what? That rust hasn't been always removed. It's showing you the racism that's in him. And what he's saying is, we're tired of you putting the guilt in our face. And if you continue to do it, we're going to release the more Dylan Roofs, the John Cowells. We're gonna release the white YNs.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. And it's so in your face. This brother with the red shirt and the white stripes, that brother is blind. It's so much in his face. It's such a reality that even a blind man can see it.
That's crazy.
That it don't make sense. This shows you the real purpose behind this conversation. You're coming to try to show that blacks don't even know what they want. That's why you keep asking how much for reparations. Tell me how much. He's expecting them not to be able to give an answer. This whole thing is a ploy to tell you need to get in line, or we're going to get you in line.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Hey, and Salakia, you see, he said that's trillions of dollars. Basically, it's too much. It's not realistic for us to pay back what we owe or rectify how much atrocities that we've done. So let's just stop talking about it. Because you're making us feel bad. We're tired of feeling bad. But see, the problem is it's inevitable that Babylon has to fall. And as it's having its decline, the system that's set up to kind of help all of them is starting to, take a hit. And now that some of them are feeling like victims of the system itself, or they're like, hey, let's wrap all of this oppression stuff up because I'm disenfranchised now too. So let's wrap it. I'm tired of hearing about that. Real quick, let's get Psalm chapter 10 and verse number 8. And then we're going to jump to verse 11. Matter of fact, start at do 2, 8, and 11.
Count out of one. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 2. The wicked in his pride do persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Right? So you see right there, the wicked, they prosecute the poor. That's what he's telling you is about to happen. We got the guns and we're pissed about it. So we're gonna start coming around and getting it back in blood. We're gonna start, making you feel what we feel because we're angry and we have the guns, right? Verse number 8.
Come on, one. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
Yes.
In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent.
Yes, that's what he's telling you is about to start happening. He said, you keep talking about what we did to you. You keep making these young boys feel bad. You keep hurting their feelings with the truth. Your innocent are in danger. And you better talk to me. You better have this conversation with me, or else we're gonna release them on you. And then it's out of my hands. It's gonna be on you now. It's gonna be your fault. Right? Keep going.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Because we know that's where they're looking. That's where they're gonna start. Because Esau don't want to come to the Israelites. We don't see that. They're basically done with us. They gotta target people in these communities that have no idea what they're talking about, are not prepared to defend these points or talk these statistics. Matter of fact, read verse 11.
Count out of one. Verse 11. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it.
See, he has okay, yeah. After this, give me 2 Maccabees 13 to 18. 2 Maccabees 13 to 18. They're not considering that we God's people. And they said, oh man, come on, you know, God gave us this country. We had to do a few things to get it. Okay, it's bad. But you know, well, let's all come together and praise white Jesus. Because also in this conversation that we may not see it, he says the only thing stopping me from, you know, acting out how I feel or going murdering people is my faith, is me being a Christian. But if it wasn't for that, I would get down where I'm mad at, basically. I would attack you. Right? Give me that in Maccabees.
Carter 1. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 13 and verse 18. Now, when the king had taken a taste of the manliness of the Jews, he went about to take the manliness of the Jews.
Right.
So you see, even the powers that be, even back then, because this was during the time of the Maccabees, when the Greeks was there, when he saw how manly we were, when he saw our family structures, how we were willing to die and fight for our lives and our laws, when he realized, oh man, these are men that we're going up against, what did he do?
Carter 1. He went about to take the holds by policy.
By policy, they start creating these policies that disenfranchise and try to break up the family structure and also weaken the man. It's the same thing that's happening today. And they targeting our innocent, and they targeting our poor, and they're targeting our people that are kind of defenseless. This is why the Hebrew Israelites are the only people that we're the warrior class of your nation. This is why we're the leaders, because we're the only one that's pointing this stuff out and putting our lives on the line, and standing on these corners and putting ourselves in the forefront to speak up about our people.
That's right.
Because Esau, he can't deal with us on a man-to-man level. It has to be through policy. It has to be through sneaky ways. Coming up with like black fatigue.
Excellent point.
I'll yield right there. Brother, you know.
Let's let me get I want Psalms. I want to verse in Sirach. Sirach 13 and 19. Let's read that.
Count out of one. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 19. As the wild ass is to the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor.
That's his job, to eat us up. Dude, like Aharon said, his policies, his distractions, his social medias, right? The propaganda and the lies that they put up. It's their job to eat up the poor. Read.
Love, Salakia. As the proud hate humility.
That's this dude, man. He came off very humble at first, joking. Well, he started off with a weird joke with a MAGA hat. You walk in, dude, with a MAGA hat. You think he gonna? Did you have your hand on your piece? Like, come on, bro. Like, we already knew how you was coming proud, man. But you're trying to be funny and humble. We see right through you, Reed.
So doeth the rich abhor the poor.
And the rich signifies the people of Esau, and the poor is us, man. They abhor us, man. That's why a conversation of black fatigue is had. There is no Jewish fatigue. There is no Ukraine fatigue. There is no Japan fatigue. Who else they sending money to? Israel fatigue. Ain't no fatigue for none of these people. But when it comes to the so-called Black Latinos and Native Americans, they tired of us talking about it. Hey, that's a fact. What I don't say. That's a fact. We have to. Definitely was a buffoon. Like, he can't. They shouldn't even they shouldn't even allow him to come to the barbershop. He's not deserving of that. You can't come in here and use the things that our people went through. I'm talking about the worst thing that ever happened in some history ever went through as a people, as far as chattel slavery, and you coming and making light of it, and you're calling it barbershop talk. What a play to black people. You think it's so slick? It's like we see through that, man.
And what's crazy is that the barbershop has always been a safe haven for black masculinity to talk about our issues, have fun, and just kind of unwind and feel safe. And this dude said, "Ooh, that's where I'll get him.
I'll invade that."
And has invaded that space. And look, we right. You was right here in Iraq 13. Read 12 and 16.
Bring it out, of course. Got to.
Kind of one. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm just coming to talk. Let's have a conversation, and just let's be able to come together. But you see what happened? As soon as he got uncomfortable, he's saying, "Listen, y'all better stop this stuff, or else we're gonna let him kill you." Keep going.
But in his heart, he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing when he's coming up with these statistics. That's what he's doing when he's manipulating this information. He's trying to figure out, okay, how I can really snare you in your words and make you look stupid and make you realize that you don't have any place to defend yourself. You might as well come on my side. Right? Keep going.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Oh man, it's so bad. What's going on? We're disenfranchised. I get it. We shouldn't be sending money to Ukraine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's doing that to disarm you.
Yes.
That's it. But hey, guess what? It says, but if he find the opportunity, he won't even be satisfied with blood, because that's easy. He's gonna make a policy so that your children, he don't even have to worry about fighting your children. That's if your children make it through the trap of eugenics, of him trying to abort us. Then it's okay. How can we make him gay? How can we make him weak? You see, that was those policies. Hey, it's kind of clear what's happening.
Yep.
It's lucky out of one. Wasn't that his second time coming to that barbershop?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I heard him say it twice, and I'm like, so y'all let this dude in there twice? Just to use y'all as a prop?
So the first time he came, he basically was like, let's see what you guys have to say about this. He came crouching, seeming okay. Like how he said, when I approach people, I crouch down. I don't want to be seen too threatening. That's how he came at first, just to get an idea and let us do most of the talking. Then he was like, okay, how can I beat him on this point, that point, this point? And now he's coming with some stupid statistics and data.
Okay.
Look, this is this dude's whole thing. You see, he's got like 6 million subscribers almost.
Lucky one. Just on that point, can we just read Sirach 12 and 10 real quick too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I got you.
The water.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Hey, brother.
For like it.
Does that say because it's 2025 and he in the barbershop this time and he decided to not wear red? Does that say that there's a stipulation to that, brother?
Read
it again.
Never trust thine enemy.
It said, never trust thine enemy. Read.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
For as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. It's bound to happen
every time. Right?
It's no like if we can prevent it, this is new iron, brother. You ain't heard about that. No, it's always going to happen. Read.
Yeah.
Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Though he do what?
Humble himself and go crouching.
And that's exactly what he said that he did. That's exactly what he said that he does.
Hey, that's heavy. Hold on, wait. Let's play that out. Let's play that. Watch what he said. Come on, this devil, he did it.
The scriptures is real.
Hold on. Hold on, bro. He did that. Yo, he did that. Watch this. Read it again. So he do what?
Humble himself and go crouching.
Watch.
Sit with people. I actually kind of slump my shoulders and deliberately kind of make myself smaller, just to not.
Yo,
It's like, you know,
wait. Yo, you can't. We can end it right there. You cannot make this up. Yo, read it again. Wait. What did he say?
Shoulders. Funny that you mentioned that, because I actually, when I do the change my mind to sit with people, I actually kind of slump my shoulders and deliberately kind of make myself smaller, just to not. It's like, you know, what is it? The crab that has.
Read it again.
Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Make himself small so I don't look like I'm doing this, because that's what I'm actually doing. Dog, the scriptures is beautiful, man. The scriptures is beautiful. Go ahead, Clubs up.
Hey, counter to one. The scriptures, like the elder said in the song, man, I'm so grateful for the scriptures, man, because it's showing you this concerning who. What did verse 10 say? What did verse 10 call him? Your enemy. Continue to read on that verse.
Y'all got to clip that. I might have to play that whole clip.
Hey, that's a good one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be, and beware of him.
Yet take good heed and be careful with these devils, man. You walking on the battlements of the city, and he trying to let you know that too. He not hiding it at all, because he can't. And the scriptures is telling you that he can. Continue to read.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
Does everybody understand?
Because then he says this.
We're talking about statistical reality. There's no cameras over there. The young white male, when the young white male is the real threat to America as it stands.
You know what? You're right. I agree. You're right about that. Because young white males are going to be the majority with guns, and if you keep telling them that they're fucking criminals and they should pay for people's bad decisions, you don't want to see them angry.
Young white males are the real criminals in America. The next thing he says, you're right. You're right. Wait a minute.
They take pride in that.
So what was this whole conversation? This 12 times murder rate. What was the whole thing about? You just cut yourself.
The whole conversation was the black criminals, and white people are 12 more times likely to be killed by a black person. But then out of the side of your neck, you said that young white males are the most violent thing in America. Doesn't make what is the conversation? Can we get it? Oh no, we read it already. Though his words be smoother than butter. We read that already, didn't we?
Yeah, we can get it again.
I was about to
read that again.
What's that? 55.
55, man. God.
That was wild. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Real smooth, read.
But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil.
Amen.
Yes.
Soft words and trying to make jokes and humility. But what?
Yet were they drawn swords.
Wait, yet were they drawn swords, man? What are we talking about here? You just killed the entire conversation with that remark. I'm gonna yell right there.
So like I got one preset.
Get out of it.
Hey Quad, can you give me Proverbs 26, verse 26?
Khan. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 26. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation.
Like, bro, when you come in crouching, like you all humble, you cool, you know what I'm saying? once you start to speak and you dealing with an intelligent brother, that brother know how to draw that deceitfulness up out of you. Because we see right through it, man. You can't hide. You can't hide it. Because as soon as it comes to a point in the conversation when a brother bring out a point that you can't deal with, when we just shot your whole point up with an AK and your whole point dead, now you just grasping at straws. You grasping at anything to try to posture yourself above us when we just humbled you with 1 point. I yield with that out on.
Now you got to threaten us. Now you got to threaten us. Well, yeah, that's true, but we got the gun, so what?
Yeah, we're gonna do about it. All right, you got more on that, Aaron?
Man, hey, it's a lot more we can get into because this is a nuanced conversation. We can almost have a point too, because we haven't talked about the psychological effects, and we haven't talked about the portion of Black fatigue that basically saying how we kind of conduct ourselves in the public a little bit. But
have to get
that in itself, huh?
I said I might have to get that on audiobook, and then we could do a part 2, the true Black fatigue. Like, what is it? What is this, man? So we got to read that book.
Hey, yeah, but hey, I just want to say, man, hey, look, y'all go check this out. Don't subscribe. Don't give him any more subscribers. But look, he has these conversations. He's been having them for the last couple of years, and it's just interesting. It's we might need to do a part 2. Seriously. But he has a conversation. So I'm telling you, learn the statistics, learn what's going on, prepare yourself to have the talking points, and not just because you have to entertain any heathen that want to come talk to you about your people, but just know the truth about what's happening, so that way you be prepared to intelligently respond and defend the truth.
That's right.
Because if you don't have any statistics, you might just say, you know what, all right, he's very confident in the stuff that he's saying, so it must be true.
Yeah, that's how it be. White is right syndrome.
Yeah, facts. But yeah,
we can end it right there. Lord willing, we can have a part 2, man. And we still need details, man, on my brother Trey Reed and the rest of the brothers and sisters, right? Because it's since the Charlie Kirk death, right, or unaliving, it's been a lot of so-called Black brothers and sisters, Latino, Native Americans popping up missing, right? Hanging from trees, hanging from bridges. So we still haven't forgot about the brother Trey Reed. We're still waiting on the good brother Colin Kaepernick to just release the details on that autopsy, so we can get details on that, man, because we need the truth behind the story. It's already been some hints came out that he was beat up and had broken bones, and the belt was too large. It's not a belt that would have been his, because you probably would do it with your own stuff. It wouldn't have been the belt. It was too large of a belt, so there's some details that have come out of what happened, but we just we're waiting for the truth of the matter to be exposed about our dear brother Trey Reed, man. So we haven't forgot about the brother and his family, right? Like we said earlier, man, check out our Patreon lineup, man. Captain's Corners, feast days, behind the scene resources, exclusive camp, debates, tribal fitness. We got it all. Whatever you need, we got it on our Patreon website, right? And also, man, the next feast day that's coming up November 19th, the next new moon, that's going to be on a Wednesday at evening, and then we'll have Feast of Dedications December 13th. That's a Saturday at evening, so make sure you're there. Again, if you want to join the organization and do the work as a member of Sons of Thunder and push this word as a civil rights leader in your community, uplifting like those of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, those that came before us, and uplifting our people, but through the truth of the scriptures, send an email to SOTisraelites@gmail.com. And if you a sister that want to be a helping hand and a pillars of rest in that movement, right, send an email to pillarsofrest@gmail.com. So with that, man, hey, we the Sons of Thunder Israelites. Hey, it's a new video dropping on Monday as well. Right, make sure you go and check that out on the channel. Right, I don't want to say it's a new video dropping on Monday. Right, let me pull this down. Right, so if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're going back and watching all the C4N, the Truth Tuesdays, the late night with Captain Shalimar in the Bay, obviously your Bar4Bar, and all our camp videos, and all our brothers that's in the work, in the truth, and doing the work in SOT, man. DC, Florida, Alabama, California, right? Just doing the work, man. Try to uplift our people in the scriptures, man. So with that, I'm Captain Yaikwab.
Captain Haran.
So, Officer Nayar.
Officer Kwabza all.
And we're the sons of Thunder Israelites, and our hearts plan desire for Israel that they might be saved. Shalom.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Live longer.
The A-Smack.
Yeah.
Placed in a timeline a long time ago. I'm just trying to figure out where I fit. I see the world for what it is. Down to the gates of hell we descend, serving the gods of our fathers without no need to repent. We morally blinded, looking for water in dry deserts. With our efforts we apply more pressure. Who be praying for me? Trying to pull out some pleasure from pain, and we keep this up until nothing remains. The world keeps spinning, poor get poor, rich get rich, the good die young. Shots pop, chicks get hit, death is surround us. You can't escape the angel when he calls. Your days are numbered, don't you waste them all. And time keep ticking, with the hand of God I write my vision, hoping my family can go and make a lifestyle with it. Your pain come with a story, you could beat your issue. But if you kill yourself today, you gon' take it with you. Live longer. We here for what we here for.
What you here for?
The story to tell. I don't know where my story gon' end, but if I wake up, I'll do it again. I just gotta live longer. I just gotta live longer. Who am I? I'm just passing by with the wisdom from the one. Don't you forget it. You were sent on this mission to bear witness. Humanity tripping, right and wrong inside the pot, they mixed it. Kill a kid with a gun, shoot him down in his kitchen. Kill a kid in the womb, they gon' tell you it's different. You should ask, what's life? The burden you carry is to observe. In a place where you get nailed to a cross, speaking the word. Take laws, break laws, who really protect it? In God we trust, who really respect it? This America race to the finish line, black and white, who supreme? 60 shots, knee to the neck. Yeah, it's hard to breathe, you crying for peace, trying to release anger, you hanging your head down in defeat, cause you see your people in need. Who are we? Questions we avoid, not to get destroyed. For the pleasures we enjoy, we ain't making noise. You see us struggling, lack of understanding of our nature. The way we truly are is not the way they take us. Dealing with scars that the last generation gave us. Parents create us, but they can't save us. Some sleeping in a slumber, they'll never wake up. For the sake of everything good, I'd save them all if I could. Listen clear, be aware, your pain come with a story. Don't forget to leave it here, live longer. We here for what we here for. Got a story to tell. I don't know where my story gon' end, but if I wake up, I'll do it again. I just gotta live longer. Do it again. Do it again. I just gotta live longer.